In February 1990, a few years before Raymond Santilli distributed his alien autopsy film, which had allegedly been taped by the U.S. Air Force the day after a flying saucer crashed in the Roswell Desert, American and Canadian UFO researchers began to receive a series of strange documents in the mail. The anonymous author claimed that on November 4th, 1989, a flying object of unknown origin had been forced to make an emergency landing in the swamp outside of the small town of Carp, Ontario. Once on the ground, the UFO, still intact, was fired upon by 3 helicopters sent to the scene by Canadian and U.S. Secret Services, who were working together on this matter. Next, using the nerve gas Vexon, which is not widely known, a commando unit moved in on the craft, which did not fire at them. They reached the controls of the ship, where they found the bodies of 3 reptilian creatures. Pretending to be carrying out road work near the swamp, the Army discreetly moved the UFO to a secret government facility in Canada under the cover of night. As for the mysterious creatures, they were supposedly secretly transported to the University of Ottawa, where CIA physiologists performed an autopsy on them. This incredible tale was accompanied by the topographical map of the area, as well as a photograph of one of the captured creatures. When he got wind of this amazing story, Graham Lightfoot, a local UFO researcher, headed to Carp to investigate for himself.
I went to the area and on a Saturday, thinking people would be home, talked to 8 to 10 people, I just forget exactly, and asked them had they seen anything over the swamp. So I talked to people who had the best view of that, and nobody had seen anything. And I was getting a bit frustrated, so where else do I go? So I turned and go to the other side of the road, and lo and behold, found 2 people who had seen something. One turned out to be the Labaneks, and she told me that a bright light had been seen over the swamp, as bright as arc welding or electric welding at nighttime, and it was at such and such an angle from her house. Later on the same day, I was further down the road and found a younger lady who also told me she saw a bright light in the swamp behind her house, and disturbed the dogs. The light shone through their windows. So in talking to those people, they didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was. Interestingly, the story that was given with that report that there'd been a crash said that roads had been cut into the swamp to take out the downed UFO. And even in the winter when I first looked at that, there was no way anybody had cut a road into that swamp. And you know, I sort of said, well, that part of it isn't true. Maybe somebody saw a bright light, but they certainly hadn't cut any roads in to retrieve anything from that swamp.